dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we are recording right
Wait,
now.
you said, did you say 7 or 8? Like, come over here and look. Yeah,
Okay, well, you guys are fucking around. Hey, viewers.
Yes.
What's poppin'?
Okay, I thought I was right.
It's Alex from Dude Absolutely. And we have a special broadcast for you. This is the weekend broadcast where we're in studio on the day we're not supposed to be because fucking shit's happening. And we want to jump out in front of it and talk about it with you guys. So, I wouldn't normally say this, but since we're going above and beyond, maybe you guys could also go above and beyond and participate. Maybe throw us a comment or 3 or 10.
Also, go and subscribe. I've been paying attention to the numbers, and I see that you guys aren't subscribing. You need to get in there.
Yeah, get in there. Get in there and do your damn job.
Rub that generous
You're
chakra.
You're not here to listen. You're here to boost our numbers so that we look cool, and then production companies will pay us to continue to do this.
Exactly.
Anyway, we've got some fucking crazy stuff to talk about today. So excited. We're not going to list the agenda because we never do that, so why the fuck would I do that now? But Chris, if you want to just take it from the top, you got some things.
So, was it yesterday or the day before?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
It was insane.
First thing that happened, fucking aliens.
Yeah.
So the best part about this whole story. So, Chaim Heshad.
Right. Israeli former space and intelligence.
Space intelligence and
like aerospace and galactic intelligence ambassador.
I thought I had a tab open on the article, but maybe
it doesn't
not.
matter.
You want me to read an article?
I think it's kind of horse shit. I'm not trying to be that guy.
100%.
What do you mean?
100% horse
You
shit.
think his claims are horseshit?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the words that he's using are very weird.
It's like you watched a movie. And
But
then
that's-
he's
like
repeating
the
movie.
language he's using, I can't tell if it's a translation issue.
Exactly. So Snopes is saying that it seems like a translation issue, the
Okay.
way that it's coming across.
Okay, because
But intention-wise, it sounds
Okay,
like he's...
how are we misinterpreting the unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet. What else could that mean?
then it's like,
Well, it's...
what I'm confused by is, okay, if there is intelligent life that has been present and is literally, according to this man's claims, been awaiting our readiness for their, I guess, like...
The Mars base.
If they're awaiting us being ready to know that there are aliens out there and they want to communicate with us, why are they talking to Israel and Donald Trump as opposed to
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Well, so
Will Smith.
the claim was that they... So I misinterpreted part of it, which was that...
And how are they speaking Israeli or Hebrew?
Okay. There's a lot to digest with it.
Yeah.
Give me a second. So
Yeah. Do your
first thing with the Donald Trump. It wasn't that Donald Trump almost blew the news. It was that they almost informed Donald Trump, but then chose not to because he's so fucking lackadaisy with the information that he gets.
Okay.
So it was that they were about to tell him what was going on.
So instead of saying Trump knows, they should have said, and Trump almost knew? Or what are we saying?
Right.
Here?
So that, from what I'm gathering from the research that I've done, was that he almost was informed.
That adds a percentage point of credibility to this, because you wouldn't tell the biggest blabbermouth in the world anything important if you didn't want people to know.
The other
about it.
big thing was Space Force, right? So like the galactic police.
Yeah, what did they call themselves? What is this alien the Galactic Federation of Alien Life or
which
something?
again
Stargate thing,
is like us
Is that a
trying to translate
translation?
the way that this guy is saying this shit.
Okay.
Because every news source has been like, this guy was very well respected. And it's like, okay, you guys believed everything he was saying
Up until this?
up until why now this is the you guys draw the line.
Right.
Book
Like-
in November.
Well, like, what was the guy? Wait, what'd you say? Book in
He's got a
November?
book in November, yeah.
Oh, well,
Well,
there you go.
he is quoted in that book. Are you sure it's his book?
That's what I
Who's that?
gathered
Who's that
from-
guy that like released the movie? And then
here we go.
he was on Rogan a couple times. Who's that? Or
James Fox.
no?
Is that who you're talking about? Because he
No.
just released a movie called Phenomenon. which is
No, different guy. But
No,
yeah,
that's
I
with
know.
John Travolta. He had cancer.
Okay,
he
so-
can't, like move pens and stuff.
what?
That was a movie from 1996.
Oh,
Continue. Got him. Absolutely wrecked.
So I forget what this guy's name is. It's
I
not,
can give you this book real quick, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can
Oh
look
yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Shed's ideas are spelled out in more detail in The Universe Beyond the Horizon. Conversations with Professor Haim Shed by Hagar Yanai. So it's written by someone, but it's conversations with our
okay.
boy here.
So he's like a
So I think his thing, the reason why he came out, and he was like, "Oh, there's a book coming out, and I said a bunch of things.
so this is him being like, hey, preemptive warning.
I do talk about aliens."
Yeah. And then everyone was like, well, that's interesting. What about Donald? Did you tell him? And people were like, no.
Cooperation agreements had been signed between species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars.
So Space Force. So this was the big thing that other people are going, now it makes sense. They made Donald think that this was like, wouldn't it be fun if we had like, basically police out in space? And he was like, that sounds phenomenal. I'm all over it.
Actually, he would say, that sounds tremendous.
Yeah. And so, but our government was secretly like, we just need more.
We need funding to
Yeah,
be able
yeah.
to fucking get bodies out there. Well, I don't know that there's enough info out right now for us to make a judgment call. But being the smartest podcast on the face of the earth,
And all of the UFO sightings. So there's 3 confirmed
well,
unidentified.
there's that one from the U.S. Air Force, which is like,
There's the U.S. Air Force, then there's the Navy, then or maybe it was, maybe Navy had 2. But there are, so the government, our government has confirmed, yes, there have been 3 separate sightings that we can confirm are unidentified. They don't call them UFOs.
no, they call them terrestrial aircrafts or something, right?
Yeah. Unidentified flying phenomenon. So a
'Cause-
UFP.
Okay, because like, I don't know. See, this is where I get hung up because like, I want to believe, like the poster says, but I don't. I also don't trust the government to like have our best interest in mind. So like, when they tell us like, yeah, we saw aliens. What else you seen? Because like, this can't be the bottom of the iceberg. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, this isn't the whole picture. They're not like, all right, here's everything we know about aliens. We saw 3 things that we weren't sure what they were. Like,
Yeah.
there's something sinister about the
Well,
idea that they're like, okay, we have to tell people this because they're asking too many questions.
Exactly.
And this will just satisfy their craving enough that they're going to stop asking so many questions and they'll focus on the fact that we've seen these before.
So the best argument.
There's a fucking hair on this thing.
You are always picking at that. So the best argument that I have heard so far is one of the pilots that saw that Tic Tac,
Yeah.
and he's being interviewed by a scientist, and he's saying, in the name of progression, why not release all of this information? Think of the things that we could accomplish, how that would motivate other, like an Elon Musk or, these people who have the means to do great things. Would that not motivate people to further innovation? And this guy is like, you're thinking like a scientist. You have to think like a country. As countries, we are capable of horrible things.
Yes.
You think about like, so Germany was this close to winning the war.
Right.
It could have been a completely different story, and that was because of this innovation that was happening.
Right.
There was a scientist that was basically pretending that he could not solve this equation so that they didn't have the means to be able to drop a nuke first. So, in that regard, that seems to be the most plausible thing, is that these governments are saying, like, man, if we let X amount out, then people are going to only want more. No one would be satisfied with, yeah, we work with aliens.
Right.
They would want all
like
of the information.
It's Pandora's box. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Is once it's out, it's never going back in the box, and people are going to explore and try to learn. I mean, do I want us to be able to have, terrestrial colonization is on the horizon within the next 1,000 years?
What does that mean?
Like Mars and
Oh.
terraforming other. Like
I got
I bet, dude. By the way, have you guys been watching Alien Worlds on Netflix?
Fuck, no. I keep meaning to watch it.
It is interesting. But that being said, I think the scientist guy is super right, but it's terrifying also, like you said, to think about it. Like, if we decided as a world, as the globe, like, oh, they're a threat, and we're unified as a globe against a threat, like, I mean, could we blow up the moon? Probably. You know what I mean? I don't know what happens. Like and we're gonna lose. Is the other thing. Like, because if they can get here, we lose. Battle's here.
Yeah.
This is like full blown District 9 or whatever the fuck that movie was.
The sheer...
What was that movie called? Battle Los Angeles.
Oh my God.
No, it's Independence Day.
Have you seen Battle...
Independence Day also.
Have you seen Battle of Los Angeles?
No.
That sounds like a sci-fi original.
It is. It is the sci-fi original version of Battle Los Angeles, starring Kel Williams from Kenan and Kel.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh, I've seen part of it.
Yeah, when he throws a grenade and it blows up and it's like the most horrible CGI explosion, you're like, well, this is going to be a killer movie.
Don't they make fun of the fact that he was in that movie in Kenan and Kel?
I think it's a later movie. It came out like simultaneously with Battle Los Angeles. They were like, we're going to compete with
It's just the undercut of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff before.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
It's
Like they made a shark movie to undercut the Megalodon,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
Meg
yeah.
or whatever. They're like, oh, but this is one you can watch for free.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I mean, so the three unidentified flying objects.
Yep. Tic
So
Tac.
the funny thing is with this scientist, so I listened to him talk to this pilot. He wants innovation in all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But in a different video, when somebody's asking him about these things, he's very he's far more realistic in what he believes it could be. So I forgot to look this up, but the stealth bomber, could you look up when that was invented?
I believe it was in the 70s.
See, but that's the thing, is this guy said that that's when the public became aware of it. When in actuality, it had been going on for longer.
That makes sense.
Or I forget, like, whatever the time frame with which it was being created and when we finally found out about that thing, there's a huge gap. And so he was saying that throughout history, we have been creating things that we never could have imagined. And so to think that these things are otherworldly, while possible, absolutely. If you were to go like back to the 50s and show someone a fucking stealth bomber, they would lose their minds.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole Nick Swartz and everyone's jaded now joke. Like if you showed someone in the 50s.
Oh, Transformers?
Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
Can't go an
A single
without
episode
it.
without dropping
Yep.
that phone?
Yep.
It's fine. We'll make a compilation.
Hey, can we cut real quick?
Yeah.
Do we build a space wall next?
See, that's what what are we gonna? We can't stop them. So like if
Space wall.
we already kind of have a space wall with all the satellites and shit.
Just
Have you
floating
seen
around.
that?
That's cool.
That's the most terrifying thing about space travel is we're running out of time.
Wait, space wall?
No, like we have our own space wall that we built by being greedy and allowing corporations to just send satellites up into the world or up into the atmosphere.
Oh, you're
There's just
talking about all
junk
that
floating
garbage?
We
around.
literally
Yeah.
have so much garbage and satellites and shit up there that the window, like that's what most of the calculating is in NASA. Is they're like, all right, we got a window of like 12 minutes before the garbage patch moves back over, so we're gonna have to get this bitch up in the air.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying that someone needs to invent basically a net.
a Skynet.
To
To catch all that garbage. Yeah.
because he said that that's a huge problem.
Yeah, we can't. Where are we going? It's like, I mean, are we sort of through the aliens conversation? Because we can transition right into Star Wars if you'd like.
I want to do a little more alien.
Okay.
So the logical side of me goes, so let's say aliens exist,
Yes.
right? I would love to learn more,
Yes.
but my life is not going to actually change.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. This is first of all, it's not going to happen in our lifetime. Second of all, if it does happen in our lifetime, our lives are going to be a lot shorter because they're going to kill us so fast.
I don't think they would, because I was thinking about it.
Think about it. We would initiate conflict.
right.
Like they would come here, they'd be like, "We're interested. How are things going?" And then some fucking Confederate flag waving moron would be like, "Get the fuck off of my sky lawn," and then.
Well, there's.
I mean, the way they react to people from Mexico and South America illegally crossing the border, real aliens, man.
So they
So many RPGs.
they recorded, or it's on record that Russia was firing upon an unidentified flying phenomenon.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the speculation as to why it seems like more of the shit happens in these places where, how come they're not doing it in major cities or things like that? It's exactly to what you're saying. It's like people freak the fuck out, and if they have the means with which to do actual damage,
Like it's a recon mission.
yeah,
When you do a recon mission, you don't send your best pilots, or in this case, probably they're like 4th or 5th tier pilots because they're like, "Hey, you want to go check out that shithole real quick?" But like, you don't send them into the most populated enemy or potential enemy territory. You send them to Kansas where there's no one.
Well, it's like how like a zoologist studies animals. They never, like, I mean, I would imagine zoologists aren't going into lions' dens.
Yeah.
No, they
and-
just go to the zoo.
It's fair. I knew a zoo joke was coming,
habitat.
but they also don't like fault the entire species of lion if somebody gets attacked.
Yeah. Well, you don't
So
provoke the species.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is, so aliens, I would imagine, if they are superior, would view us much in the same way.
If they're here, they're superior.
What does that mean, though? Like, do they have $1 million?
Well, I would say just because,
Technologically superior.
yeah.
What if they can send like two people on like a raft, equivalent of like a raft? Like that doesn't necessarily mean they're like
But that's
doing
still
Star Trek.
Yeah, but
Or-
then but the technology that it takes to be able to send two living organisms that far through
could be a one-wayer.
I know, but the fact that they're still
we
alive.
don't even have that right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
We-
I'm just saying like that's not some existential threat if something
Oh,
makes it here.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, for
Gotcha.
sure.
Because we can find some psychopaths like and be like, hey, we're doing a one-way to Mars. You go in? They're like, Yeah, I'm in. Yes.
People have already signed up for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that you're absolutely right
Yeah.
about that. I just feel like
But what the thing that I was saying was if they are explorers, I would imagine that the same way that true scientists, when they're out in the field, don't blame the conditions when they're doing this research.
But this is where my brain goes to again. Like I do think very how do I say it?
Cynical.
Yeah, it's cynical, but it's also pessimistic in this way. Like,
Sure.
Do you remember what happened when Topher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and arrived here? And he at first, super bad guy, killed a bunch of people. But at first, his plan wasn't like genocide via smallpox, but it happened, and he didn't know he was carrying it. And this is kind of the whole.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, what organisms are they bringing with them? Because it's like your body's a biome. If they do send two people or aliens or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, how funny would it be though if you like opened it up and it was like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, whatever, and you're like, wow.
And they're like,
there.
You think we would send living organisms?
You guys are idiots.
Fucking idiots.
That being said, though, it's like, our bodies are biomes. So, like, we carry all these bacteria with us that don't affect humans, but...
Richard Dawkins has this incredible thought experiment, which is because the scale of which the universe exists is like really incomprehensible. But to think, what if there are silicone-based life forms?
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Which would be fucking wild.
And you want to know the craziest part about that?
What's that?
That's all about electrons. That's why silicone-based life is possible. Because we're carbon-based life. And
Right.
Carbon and silicone are in the exact same column on the periodic table, meaning that they have the same number of electrons on their outermost ring of electrons, which means it can bond similarly chemically with all of the other known elements that carbon can bond with.
Alex, that may be the smartest thing I have ever heard you say, and I am fucking blown away. That was awesome.
Thank you. But it's fucking wild to think that, but it's
Yeah.
true. Like, silicone-based life is entirely possible because of that.
Wow. Body safe.
Okay, now I'm getting it. It took me a second. I'm like, is this literally I saw Body Safe by Bad Dragon. I was like, is this a poem?
How did you remember that?
So I just connected in my brain like silicone and then like alien life form made me think of Bad Dragon.
Folks, for 10% off your next Bad Dragon purchase.
Yeah, we gotta ask them about that.
Oh, God damn it, that's funny.
There's okay, so quick shift of gears. We don't have to talk about the super exciting stuff yet. I mean, aliens, super exciting. Aliens, fucking A.
The InfoWars won't even jump on it though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they have.
I was
been
excited. I'm like,
for-
ooh, let's go to InfoWars. And they were like, bizarre interview with, maybe it's because he's from Israel.
Yeah, that
Oh,
probably
right.
is
I just
it.
thought about that.
The answer's
Parentheses,
I love
yeah.
how I love how you'll say the R word,
What?
but you can't say Semite.
I don't say recreational.
Marijuana.
Oh, rigatoni.
Right. Anyways.
So anyways, over at InfoWars.
Yeah, won't even say anti-Semitic. Like
I say
answers.
Globalists.
globalists.
Yeah, dude. How funny would that be though? To turn on InfoWars and that's like the path by which people like I don't know.
Oh, they think the world's flat?
Their fucking globalist agenda to not expose, because that's what they're not exposing alien truths. Like that's their globalist agenda.
That's really
is to,
funny.
Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna quickly just breeze past Cyberpunk because it came out a few days ago.
Please.
It's a very, very interesting game. And Mara, your dive into Bad Dragon reminded me of it, which is for some people a huge turnoff for a video game, but for many is hilarious. It is the most sexualized video game I've ever played, and I've played a lot of Grand Theft Auto. I've played Saints Row, which is even more sexualized than Grand Theft Auto. I've played Mafia, which has a lot of sex references. This game has like several visitable and money you can spend. Like you can make purchases at several different dildo shops, like in this city. There's dildos everywhere. There's sex references everywhere.
What do you do with a dildo?
You don't do anything. You just buy it and then you can resell it. It's just funny to have in your inventory. Yeah, you can like literally. I had like a studded dildo in my inventory because I like picked it up off of somebody and then I sold it for like 4 credits.
Why are they blurred out?
What do you mean?
Oh, is it that photo? Never mind. Must have been somebody just fucking
I
around.
don't think they had an actual image when this website uploaded this image.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they just blurred out it
Right.
already because this is like not what the image would
Yeah,
be
you
blurred,
can like there's like the customization is through the roof. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can like that said, you can customize your penis. You know.
Speak to that a little more.
Well, so like there's a slider for penis length. There's like 3 different options. There's small, default, which is hilarious to me, and then big. You can also have like circumcised or not circumcised. You can have a vagina. I don't know if you can change the size of your boobs. That's kind of what it looks like when you seriously. So like if you there's this glitch right now that if you put big penis on and you have like certain pants on, your dick will just be out of your pants all the time. Not just like when you change pants. Like literally your guy's like running around and your crank is out.
Does it
It's the future I
stay?
want.
Does it stay like pressed?
Like that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, like it's like your hog is out.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Mara, is that your brother?
Okay, so I want to talk about the actual game quick because again, this is you said it can be like kind of sales pitchy, so that's what I'm going to do here. So, Skyrim, in my opinion, and it really is. This is such an opinion based take. So like, give me I guess. Prior to diving into this, give me the grace of knowing that this is purely my opinion on this game. So Skyrim was like the pinnacle of video games for me because it encompasses everything I like about video games, not just everything. Yeah, I mean that's a classic Cyberpunk character.
This is big, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big dick.
So anyway, Skyrim was for me. It was like I said, it was the perfect video game because it like. The combat was excellent. The story was not necessarily linear. Like you didn't have to follow a straight line through the game. I like RPGs, but like they're not my favorite style. You know, I like the open world.
What's the difference between open world and sandbox?
Well, a sandbox game would be like Just Cause. Where like you control not just your character's actions but the environment around you like far more in depth. Like you can create inside the Minecraft is
okay.
So yeah, I don't know why my brain didn't go straight to Minecraft. It's just like you don't know what Just Cause is.
Yeah, that's what my first thought was. I'm like, no one knows what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, I do, but
Right. Well, I think I like tried to relate it because it's more realistic, you know. So anyway, with Skyrim, it's open world. You really like control your destiny. You can change your character to be whatever it is you want it to be. There is no cap on certain things. Like you really are. The whole experience is completely up to you. Okay. You can get 98% of the way through the game and not finish the main story. Like that's the beauty of Skyrim. It's like they don't limit you to just doing the story and then you're done. Cyberpunk fits every single one of those criteria for me. Like every one of them. It's not even.
Are you doing this on PC?
No, I'm doing it on my PS5 or PS4 Pro. I have.
Okay.
So it operates. It functions beautifully for me. There are major like lags in rendering that happen that will get better over time, I think. But part of the reason that the leg rendering occurs is because like one of the motorbikes that I have, you can drive 180 kilometers per hour. So you're like driving through the streets of this city, and there's so much for it to render as you're moving throughout the map, and you're going so fucking fast that when you stop and try to get off, it's going to take a second for things to render.
It was rushed.
Yeah.
The game was rushed, right?
Yes and no. So it's been in production for a really long time, but the production side didn't have, from what I understand, CD Projekt Red doesn't have the like same production capabilities as like you would have on like Unreal Engine. So they tried to jam pack all these features into an engine that like doesn't exactly fit what they were looking for, especially given like the new platforms are out now. So like PS5 and Xbox One S and X are both out, obviously. So you're like Stadia, another thing. It's not. It wanted to be caught up to the technology. It wanted to be like right around the release of those systems. But I think what ended up happening is they just like didn't have the capability to get it to where they wanted it to be at the time. So like yes, it was rushed, but also I just think they had this limited ceiling, of where they were going to be able to get the game to anyway. That all that being said, I would say those are the only negatives I can actually pull apart.
Does it have the fun and like awkward like interactions like Skyrim?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The AI capabilities are far different, and I would say far better, actually. Like, you actually can have legit conversations with strangers in the game, which is so weird. Because, like, in Skyrim, it would be like you talk to a guard, and they have, like, 1 of 5 canned responses. You know? In this, it's like, you still get the canned response. But, like, if you run into somebody on the street, they're like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, they'll say that. But, like, there are so many strangers for you to talk to, and you can, like, get quests out of just talking to strangers, which is unreal to me.
So what's the point of Cyberpunk?
So the point of the game is basically, where the game starts is you're one of 3 types of character. You're either corpo, which is like somebody who works for one of the corporations as like kind of a mercenary for them, or you are a street thug kind of person, like grew up on the streets of this place called Night City. That's like the main city, or whatever it is, the city that you're in. Or you're a nomad. I chose nomad because like I kind of just liked the idea of being
and then
a
you
nomad.
can be Keanu Reeves.
Well, yes and no.
That's the 4th type.
Yes, Keanu Reeves is his own type. So he's not. Yeah. So there's so the story starts differently for each one of those factions, but then you go into the town and you make friends with this guy Jackie Wells, who's like a Latino.
Excuse me, Latin Z.
Okay. You go ahead and take the reins on that one. So he
or is it Latin?
It's really
D?
awesome. Like when he speaks Spanish, it like translates his Spanish on screen for you. So like you learn a little Spanish while you're playing the game. It's really interesting.
You mean the subtitles?
Yeah. So like the subtitles, like it'll come out in Spanish first, and then it'll it'll translate the words for you.
Oh, interesting.
It's really cool. So, so like the two of you start like becoming these like sort of mid-level crime, like mercenary boss guys, whatever. And then you get presented with an opportunity to essentially like expose this like huge flaw in one of the major corporations that essentially run the world. And all shit goes to hell. Like it just goes horribly, horribly fucking wrong. And then that's when Keanu shows up. And then where I'm at in the game so far is basically like you're searching for a way to save your own life amidst all of the things going on. The corporations are working actively against you. You're working with people who have been kind of banished from those corporations, and then you're also working with fixers in the sort of like crime world that are able to set you up with information. It plays a lot like Skyrim, except 50 years from now. Like it's really good. Like I genuinely love it. Like it's fantastic. I'm going to play the fuck out of this game. I'm going to play hundreds of hours of this game. There is no question about it. So go ahead.
Speaking of Keanu, the director and creator of John Wick,
Mm-hmm.
has created a new movie. Did you guys see that trailer?
No.
You know the guy who plays Saul in Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Is it Bob Odenkirk?
It is.
Fuck yeah.
Very good.
So it's like John Wick if John Wick had a family. Well, fuck it. All right. Would you mind pulling up the trailer for nobody?
Last thing, while you're pulling that up, last thing I'll say about Cyberpunk.
I love that we keep looking back at the map.
Yeah, just so much wang. So last thing I'll say about it, and then, we'll, as she's pulling up the trailer, we'll just move on. The depth that you can go in like creation of like your own identity in the game, whether that's through the guns that you use or through the path that you take on certain things or through, the clothes that you wear or whatever, is the best I've ever seen so far.
Wow.
In any game I've played. Now that is different for everyone. So whatever. All right, let's watch this trailer and then.
Looks like a video game.
So it's called Red Band.
No, this is the Red Band trailer.
Oh.
Which means they get to swear.
So they took maybe $20 and an old watch? Mr. Manson, did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
Heard you had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know?
Why didn't you take him out?
I was just trying to keep the damage to a minimum.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
You okay? Because you don't look okay.
Wait. Oh, never.
There's a long dormant piece of me that so very badly wants out.
What are you still doing here, old man?
I'm gonna fuck you up. It's been a hell of a day.
You can see that.
For 12 years, I worked for some very dangerous people. Everybody get to the basement.
What is happening?
Don't call 911. I used to be what they call an auditor. The last guy anyone wants to see at their door. Because it meant you didn't have long to live. But I left it behind to start a family. Hey! I might have overcorrected.
When you left, you abandoned a certain debt that needs repayment. And your creditor is aware of your resurrection.
They came after my family.
They stole my kitty cat bracelet.
And you don't fucking do that! Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet!
You look like shit, Dad.
You should see the other guys.
Who the fuck are you?
Me? I'm nobody.
In theaters only February 26th.
Theaters only.
How rad.
Dude,
does
that
look?
movie's going to be bad ass.
Yeah. Because
Holy shit.
I love that they didn't try to make him.
All right, we got to get the fucking dick off the screen.
Sorry, what?
I love that they didn't try to make him sound like a badass.
No.
He's just basically an accountant who has the training of an assassin, is how they're like playing it. They're
Yeah,
like, yeah, you got to know how to do this shit, but you're still a nerd.
Yeah. Dude, that's really interesting looking. Like, I'm going to love the shit out of that movie, I think.
Dude, they're there was a drop off when it came to like the production of action movies, and how like, I don't know, like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Like there was Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like those types of action movies were campy in a way that you were like, you could suspend. Like, I don't care that they're not good actors.
Yeah,
I just am here for the action.
Yeah.
That dropped off. I feel like Fast and the Furious was one of the things that like ruined it. It's like we're doing 12 of these. How many fucking more movies and it's the same shit over and over and over. It's like, hey, we need some depth. I can't apply the same rule to all action movies.
Right.
It's too much of this shit.
Right.
The people who made the John Wick series feels just like that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's some like campiness to the way that they did it, but there's a subtlety that's like Clint Eastwood movies, like how he had like a subtle way of being a badass.
Yeah.
Just I love that.
Have you seen the movie Baby Driver?
No.
Watch that.
Okay.
That was the first.
Is that Gosling?
No. You're thinking of Drive.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, Baby Driver was with the cute face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really good. John Hamm's in it. Jamie Foxx is in it. I think it's Jamie Foxx. I'm pretty confident it's Jamie Foxx. Actually.
Yeah.
It is. That was one of the better movies.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's.
Oh, you know what? The guy who plays the Punisher, I believe, is in this movie as well. And he was talking about.
Yeah.
He was talking about what a fucking weirdo Kevin Spacey was while they were filming that movie.
Oh, it's the guy from The Fault in Our Stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Kim's going to love this.
That's a really good movie.
I cried. Not this one.
Oh, the
cancer film.
Cancer film, yeah.
Yeah.
The Fault in Our Bars.
What is Punisher guy's name? John.
Yeah, I know we've done this before.
It starts with a B. It's like John
Bilzerian.
No. Oh, it's
Frank Castle's the character.
Yeah, I know. I thought it'd be funny if this worked.
Well, just look up.
Bernthal.
Yeah, there you go.
John Bernthal.
Nice.
Yeah.
John B. That's pretty close.
He's a baseball player, I'm pretty sure. Like, he played, like, minor league baseball or something.
We talked about this as well last time.
Yeah, whoopsie. Okay, so, all right, new shit now. New entertainment stuff. This is, okay, if you don't mind me taking the reins real quick on this one, not only was I so excited about the fact that there's a lot of insane fucking Star Wars stuff coming out, this might be the biggest content release drop in the history of entertainment.
They call it a dump.
Yes.
Content dump.
That's like 100%.
Where all this content
But this wasn't just a dump. This was content diarrhea by Disney.
Well, and like the production value, I get exactly what you're saying. Like, if I don't even know what to compare it to.
The fact that they have this many things in the works is not just like kind of astonishing, but it also, to me, like,
is that window with all the tabs open still?
I got everything here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Sorry.
So all of the things that were released are highly anticipated things. You know what I mean? This wasn't them just being like, hey, check it out. We're doing a crappy movie, you know? We're doing a lot of them, actually. You guys want to see a bunch of crappy trailers? This is like stuff that people are like, I really hope they do this.
I thought it was a fan-made trailer at first, the Loki one. I was like, man, is this going to be another fucking fake thing?
But it ain't.
It's not.
I know. And the fact that it's a show is also...
Oh, Loki is a show?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I didn't even catch that.
That's the best part about most of this for me.
I knew that Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a show.
Yeah, but like they're doing shows. So we're not just getting an hour and a half, 2 hours of content.
Oh, my God.
We're getting 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of content. And in a season. And then season 2 starts, you know?
Oh my God.
Although, like with Loki, it's probably going to be like a limited release sort of thing.
Right.
I imagine, because he dead.
A version of him is dead.
Oh, that's true.
So he fucked up the timeline. So that's what I'm interested in, is because not only are like people who are after him going to be after him, but the people who are in charge of like, because if you remember in Endgame when Hulk goes to, is it the Grand Master? Tilda Swinton's character, and she shows him what happens.
Oh, the ancient one?
The ancient one,
yeah.
She shows him what happens when you remove a stone
Still
from
happens.
a timeline.
Right.
Well, and the longer that it's removed, the worse things get.
Right.
So you're going to have those people who are after him, because there's a...
The people who are the Mystic Arts people, you mean?
I don't...
Or like the people from the timeline that hate him.
So there are people specifically tasked with maintaining time. So like there's
like the Doctor Strange folk, which are the Mystic Arts people. Is that what you mean?
No.
Or do you mean somebody different?
So that's what I'm saying, is like there's so many people that are going to be after him.
Oh.
On top of that,
on top of the fact that he's fucking Loki, so he's a dick.
Yeah. So there's
selfish prat.
Like a task force to make sure that timelines.
It's just a bunch. It's just a bunch of Flava Flavs walking around. They got like clocks around their necks. Like, you done fucked up this time.
Exactly.
Okay. So content dump. Which arm of Disney do we want to dive into first? Because I know which one you're more excited for.
I'm excited for all of it, because I was super bummed when I saw Rogue One and the way that it ended. Have you seen Rogue One?
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact that they all die at the end, I was like, what the fuck?
Although, to me, that's the best version of how you should end that story.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah,
die.
it was beautiful. I loved it.
Die.
But
their step in the journey is done.
But there's that bittersweet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
the longing for the everlasting, love of characters that you fell in love with over the course of 2 hours. But it's like that they're the one of the few characters in the Star Wars universe that actually got to actualize their destiny on screen in a single movie.
Oh wow. Those are my two favorite characters. Like
Iden Verso, or not Iden Verso. That's literally the character from Battlefront. I'm an idiot. But yeah, Jyn Erso.
I can't even remember their names.
Jyn
So I'm
Erso,
not
I think, is
a
her
very
name.
good fan. But like, as far as like how their characters were portrayed and all that,
Yeah.
like I loved their story so much.
Absolutely, I agree. Very, very, very good. Okay, so as far as the Star Wars stuff goes, there's really interesting arms of the Star Wars story that are going to get explored, which I'm excited for those, because they're sort of like what you stuff that people didn't imagine getting content for.
Yeah.
Like the Rangers of the New Republic. Like that's going to be a fucking awesome show. Just the fact that it is Rangers of the New Republic, right?
Are those the fighter pilots?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I got it queued up.
You want to check the trailer for that one?
This may be the most important speech I've ever made. Well, it's about time. It was a massive dump, and to this day everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from. Massive dump, wow, in the Senate, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Massive dump, and to this day everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from. Massive dump, wow, but I went from leading by a lot to losing by a little. We used to have what was called Election Day. Now we have election days, weeks and months. Lots of bad things happened. What can I say? Wow, it was a massive dump. Our country cannot live with this election. Right now, we're worried about the present and what went on with an election that we won without question. In Pennsylvania, large amounts of dump. All over the country, dump. Nevada and California said dump. Right here in Washington. It was a massive dump. And to this day, everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from. from? Massive dump. Wow. In the Senate. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Massive dump. And to this day, everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from? Massive dump. Wow. But I went from leading by a lot.
This fucking bangs, dude.
Yeah.
This song hits.
This channel's really good. My favorite is the spiritual advisor. Have you ever seen her?
No.
She does like these speaking in tongue thing, and like it's so good.
Don't even talk about it. Can you believe this? The hardest thing I have to do is dump. When they're irregular, dump. Let's go on to the next dump. It's because they know they are hiding a massive dump. And to this day, everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from? Massive dump. Wow. In the Senate. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Massive dump. And to this day, everyone's trying to figure out where did it come from? Massive dump. Wow. But I went from leading by a lot to losing by a little. What the fuck, bro?
Is that Trump freaking out that he didn't win?
That was the massive dump. That's what I was referencing.
That was really funny. It
I
also
like
literally hits so hard. Okay, so Rangers of the New Republic is a show. It's set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. Very cool, because to me, so it's New Republic.
So is there a trailer for that?
No.
Oh,
this was
okay.
just one of those announced things. So Disney Investor Day was the day that everything got dumped on, which is why everything came out, because they were like, this is all the stuff that we're doing. These are our projects. So right. It makes more sense now.
Yes,
I just saw
yes.
that. So
Okay.
Rangers of the New Republic is a show that will be set in the timeline of The Mandalorian, and it's going to focus on what the New Republic is doing during that timeline.
I love it.
Very exciting. Then we've got I don't know.
We've got She-Hulk coming. We've got Miss Marvel.
Well, we're talking Star Wars, Chris.
Sorry.
She-Hulk procedural. I hope so. I really hope. That would be my favorite thing ever.
Procedural She-Hulk?
Yeah, like big green lady just does lawyer stuff.
like
never hulks out or whatever.
Like when Hulk in Endgame is like all profesh. All right, then we've got Ahsoka, which is gonna be so badass. We talked about that last week. The timeline of Ahsoka is virtually unknown to most of the people of the world. But if you're a Star Wars fan and you don't know about what Ahsoka's doing, this show is going to explain everything. And
I obviously need to watch Clone Wars.
Yeah, but this takes place in what's happening during The Mandalorian. So like The Mandalorian's doing so well that Disney was like, all right, it's worth investing in the other timelines the other stories that exist in this timeline, which is really cool to me. Star Wars Visions sounds awesome. So it's going to be like short films that are just about all kinds of shit, Star Wars related. And Willow, I don't know what Willow is.
It's that little guy.
But it's not a Star Wars thing, from what I understand. It's a Lucasfilm thing that is just about.
Is it a remake?
I don't know.
Do you know about Willow?
It's from like 1989.
Well, it says Willow, an original series from Lucasfilm starring Warwick Davis, is a plot directed by John
It
Chu.
is.
No fucking way.
Yeah, because Warwick Davis is Willow.
Okay, well there you go.
Wow, I can't believe they're redoing that.
The biggest,
totally not joking. I was just being.
That is fucking wild.
So the biggest announcement for me, is that Obi-Wan Kenobi's coming out, and that is, to me. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's not Star Wars. Okay.
Oh, well, technically, Warwick Davis was an Ewok.
That is true, actually. Wow. Hot take. So there's a lot of stuff coming out Star Wars related. I don't know if you can scroll through your Star Wars trailers that you've got at your leisure there. But if we want to kind of just jump in.
Yeah, which one do you want to start with?
I mean, whatever's on the farthest left.
Like politically?
I did try to put them
Star Wars stuff.
in a line of like what I would perceive as most exciting to or least exciting to most exciting.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's hit it up. Let's watch some trailers.
Rogue Squadron on blast right now. Here's the boring ass trailer for.
So here's the thing with Rogue Squadron. It's a really cool premise, but I'm just not sure that it's going to grab the general public. You know, like Mandalorian grabs the general public because you're like, this is fucking tight. This guy beats ass. I'm not sure we're going to get a ton of that in Rogue Squadron, but we'll see. Let's see a little trailer action here. Don't love this that we're seeing concrete.
I love to move fast
How is this your least
and speed of any kind. I think that that's because I grew up the daughter of a great fighter pilot, and every day I would wake up and go outside and look up, see my father and his squadron taking off and their F-4s roaring across the sky, and it was the most thrilling thing still I've experienced in my entire life. So when he lost his life in service to this country,
100% it is.
It ignited a desire in me to turn all of that tragedy and thrill into one day making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time. But try as I might and look as I did, I couldn't find the right story ever. I kept looking and looking, but I just couldn't find the right one until now. Now I found a movie about two things I love. So I'm going to see you very soon.
Oh, like, kindly go focus.
I forget what she directed before, but apparently did an incredible job. So that's why people are excited, and why they're highlighting her is because she's very good at what she does.
Okay, that's exciting, but
no wonder that one was all the way on the left.
But
What a piece of shit.
military propaganda, not my favorite thing. Aligning with Star Wars. Hey, you know what? I support the troops, but why are they in a Star Wars trailer?
I'm cringing right now.
It's just owies. It's so many owies. Okay, if she does a good job with it, it does have potential to be excellent because Rogue Squadron has its. There's an entire arm of Star Wars lore about Rogue
This is
Squadron.
a movie? Is that what they said?
Yeah, it is a movie.
It's going to have like a G.I. Joe moral of the story ending, you think?
Yeah, I'm curious as to like well, that's actually part of why Rogue One was so fucking cool, is because the like mystical aspect was kind of on the back burner.
You led the.
I'm sorry.
With back burner.
Caitlin tried calling me just now. She knows I'm here, so I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. Can you repeat what you said?
Oh, I farted.
Yeah.
Say,
Can you repeat that?
please?
Can you do that again for me?
We'll play it back real quick. But yeah, so the fact that there's I love when you think about The Boys and how it highlights the people that are affected by superheroes.
Yeah.
I like the thought that, you know, what is life like for these people who are not force wielding.
Yep.
And don't have
Yep. And that was what made Rogue One such a fucking awesome movie.
Oh, we need like a Cheers, but it's the cantina or whatever.
That would be hilarious.
Did you hear my pitch for a show?
Like the janitors who pick up the shit of the fucking. Okay, go ahead though. You were.
So Jabba the Hutt dies, right? And we all know Salacious Crumb, right? That's like the little laughing guy, Muppet that hangs out with Jabba.
Yeah.
So he's all on his own now, and he goes back to his stripper roots, and he gets like a team together and starts going by Salacious Yum.
Oh my god!
And then it's like a Magic Mike type thing.
That's awesome.
I like it. I don't know if I love it, but I like it. I think it's got potential.
Once you see the hot bods, I think you'll be more into it.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
I think it's over here somewhere.
Guy has a mean hang.
Yeah, for his dick to hang so far over his balls, that is wild.
The fact that it's got curvature is my thing. It's like, how weighty are those testes?
It might not even grow beyond that, though. We don't know. It's a mystery.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's
you
that's
can't
the
even
thing. Grower or
preview-
shower. This guy's clearly a shower.
So they don't even let you preview that in the game.
I mean, he
I
That's
don't
kind
know
of-
that there's any moments in the game that you get to actually lay pipe.
They need.
He
they need to
dyed his
patch that in.
pubes blue.
All right, Andor. This one I'm also excited for. This is another timeliney sort of moment where
Full screen this one.
so where we get full screen this advertisement for the WWE. So I again, like your feelings about Rogue One, my feelings about Rogue One, like I like these. This is a piece of the story that we haven't yet gotten to see, and then also like if this is a one-off sort of thing, you know, like not actually a one-off, but like if it's a
Wait, did she direct Rogue One? Is that why I'm thinking that?
I don't know, maybe she did.
Wonder Woman's Patty Jenkins.
That's it. She directed Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I got it right here in the description.
Oh,
Very nice.
Easy.
She also directed Thor 2, so
Ouch.
yucky.
Man, that's quite the sandwich.
All right, so yeah. All right, let's watch Andor.
Here goes.
The trailer.
I mean, pause it real quick. Do just a little rewind.
Oh no, it's busted.
Oh shit.
On the worst of this.
Pause right here.
Got it. It's like
Those Mayan sky titties?
Dude.
Is this Turok?
Well, I was curious. So the way that Mandalorian showed like the stone where the Jedi can reach out to each other.
Yeah.
That's what this makes me think of. Is this like?
Oh no, this is the base. This is Andor is the base of the Resistance.
Oh.
Yeah. So like as the Resistance
I guess I don't remember that.
As the Resistance is building, this is their base. They're on the planet Andor.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's hidden from
my apologies.
It's hidden from the crumbling empire.
Everything I did for the rebellion.
Jyn Erso, so hot.
Rogue One, in many ways, it's a film that connected new audiences with the oldest fans.
Oh, I don't know why I said it's on Andor. His name is Andor, but
a bittersweet
the planet
feeling,
that they're on is
the premiere,
where
knowing that it was just one film. But then magic happens, right? As you can see, we're getting ready. We're building stages, we're rehearsing, we're training, we're trying costumes, we're doing everything to make sure we do the best show. I'm really excited having the chance to explore Cassian. It's really fun to go on a set that is emulating something you like so much.
The enormity of this is like doing a big feature film.
It's very cinematic. For me, that's where the excitement is.
12 episodes, 12 scripts, over 200 named cast members,
so
over 6,000 crowd people, a lot of creatures that come in from the creature department.
We treat this exactly like we would a film. There is no difference in our approach.
Every creature and droid that we've been building has the same care, level of attention to detail as the previous films.
It's huge, it's thrilling, but also it's wonderfully challenging.
There's tons of possibilities to explore. It is the building of a revolution.
Okay, two things. One, I sound like a full-blown idiot when I said the planet was Andor. I know his name is Cassian Andor. I'm not a fucking complete idiot. I am an idiot, but before anyone's like, this guy doesn't get it, I fucked up. I wanted to say Endor, but I know that's actually not the planet that they were on. So, very, very interesting take for them because, again, this is like a non-force wielding character who is really like the Han Solo-esque sort of Rogue One kind of character, you know. He's like not really in line with just following orders, whatever. He's very.
Who was the cat in the last Star Wars movie? Not the black guy, but the other guy.
What do you mean?
Well, so there was like the love triangle that was going on with Ray and Black Eye.
And then the space fly guy.
Yeah.
Adam Driver?
No, he does the flying. He was like the
Oh,
X-Wing and stuff.
yeah. Poe Dameron.
Got him.
He's a pilot.
I like Andor 10 times more than I do that Poe dude.
Yeah, well, he's more, to me, he's kind of got that vibe of like
but similar, right?
Yeah, they're similar. They play similar characters, but he's like, this guy's got less of like that boisterous like cockiness and is more like kind of you can tell he's like hiding the fact that he's a total and complete badass, which is why Mandalorian is such a fucking great show, because rarely if ever does he show off his ability to fuck you up, and when he does, it's so bad for you.
Yeah, I gotta stop eating these nuts. My throat's getting all.
Well, there you go. Well, it's because they're dry roasted, salted.
Right.
You don't want that. You don't want those dry nuts in your mouth.
No. Although I would, if I had to, I'd take dry nuts over wet nuts.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You don't want your nuts pre-moistened in some fashion?
Magoof. That's pretty gross.
What if it was just with a towelette? I'm not saying it's natural.
Better than those everything nuts with all the bumps on them.
What if you remember that game in Star Wars?
Which one?
It's like with all holograms. It's like a little board game.
Yeah, they're like chess.
So we have a Queen's Gambit type, but it's with a Wookiee genius.
Oh my god.
Who's addicted to
it's like
puffing
searching
ground kyber crystals.
Yeah, and it's like searching for Bobby Fischer, but it's a Wookiee.
Just gets that force rush.
There's a Jedi like about to go into battle, and they hit the button, and they're like, "What?"
And then at the last,
he's like falling. He's like really falling deep into the pit of addiction, and is like struggling to find veins. So now he has to inject kyber crystals into the veins on his penis.
And then at the final match of the last tournament, the opponent's coach is like, "Don't let the Wookiee win."
And then he's like, use this if you have to, and it's just a baggie of ground kyber, and then he like flicks it over the table. Oh, sorry, I dropped that. And then,
this is a good show.
Yeah, and then the Wookiee takes out his crossbow and just starts fucking hammering fucking lead.
So we're sending this to Disney Plus.
100p.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, Andor's gonna be a great show, I think. I'm pretty excited about his like ascension from obscurity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what I worry about is that they're capitalizing too hard right now. That's the one thing, is like they capitalized so hard after Rogue One crushed. They were like, Solo, we're doing a fucking Han Solo movie. And then that movie was like, and like Star Wars can't afford that. They can't afford, because they're doing so much that like if
Star Wars has such an odd fan base in that they will basically hate fuck the movies. So like even if it's not a good movie,
it's like
they will still show up in droves, buy all of the things just to make sure that they can like definitively be like, this was dog shit.
Yeah.
Even though I watched it 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that. I will say, like, I'm not that guy. I pretty much love everything Star Wars. Like Solo, there are bits and pieces of that movie that I just can't get enough of.
I
love it.
Couldn't bring myself to even watch it.
There's a couple of parts that are really excellent. Like Woody Harrelson is a nice addition to the movie. He's not great. It's not Woody's best work by any means, but
which is the Hunger Games.
Yeah, either that or Kingpin.
That is one of my favorite movies.
I was just gonna say.
So, yeah, I don't know. I get really worried when the capitalizing upon popularity is palatable, and with this, it feels that way.
Yeah.
Fucking next one.
Well, the weird thing is that Marvel gets away with it, so I wonder if they have that
that's
mentality.
Well, Marvel built so beautifully. Star Wars built in the 70s, and then took a lot of time off, and then
they were like books and stuff, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking like general public building. You know, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe has existed for the last 20 years. The Lucasfilm Star Wars universe has existed for damn near 50 years. And so that amount of time to let 30 years pass between one trilogy and the next trilogy, and then to let like 15 years pass between one trilogy and the next trilogy, and then in between there, you're just pumping out all kinds. I mean, like, it's not
Was
that people
it really
are
that long in between the final trilogy?
I don't know if it's exactly 15 years, but I think from the first movie to the first movie, it's close.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because it was 1999.
Star Wars Episode 1 was 1999, and I think Episode 7, I think, was
83,
like 2015 or 2016.
Oh, you're talking about those?
Yeah,
2015. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So it was about 15 years, 16 years.
Wow.
So like the way that it went, you know, like the timeline, like we knew the timeline was like fucked up to begin with, you know, and then so like you get these to plop the best of the series right in the middle really fucks with everything.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas like Marvel started obviously in the middle of the timeline, but like they didn't dump all the best shit in the middle and then be like, actually, we're going to kind of go back and just kind of show you how things are. The very end of the timeline, I think Endgame and Infinity War are the two best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they nailed that part. I don't know that they've done that with Star Wars. They actually have not done that.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Anyway, this is the one I'm second most excited for.
They call themselves the Bad Batch.
Girl, you a bad batch.
These guys are incredibly badass. God, it's so cool.
I was bummed that this wasn't a movie.
Will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire.
I mean, it's so cinematic in delivery.
That's what Clone Wars is. It's excellent. It's animated, so it automatically gets that weird feeling of like.
That was quite an impressive display.
Action and animation don't go super great together.
Right.
Historically, like they've been colossal failures. In fact. So when you see
except for fucking. Oh wait. Oh, never mind. That was. I mean, CGI. I don't know if we categorize that.
Superheroes in animation were good. Like.
Did you ever see? They made a Final Fantasy movie.
I did not see that.
The Spirits Within, 2001.
It was actually fucking amazing, and that was an action one.
So there you go. So,
but to your point, that's the only one I
well,
can
and
think of.
it automatically gets like action. Excuse me, action animation automatically gets that tag of childish.
Yeah,
because that's the only audience that would, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like Clone Wars is inherently not childish in a lot of the content that they cover. You know, I mean, there's some shit that it's pretty heavy emotionally. You know,
yeah.
The Bad Batch shows up in season 7 of Clone Wars. They are the characters, or they are the clones that got they had mutations,
imperfections.
Yeah. Well, they call them desirable mutations. So
interesting.
So like their leader is like Aragorn in his ranger abilities. Like he's exceptionally good at tracking. He's very physically gifted in his ability to like maneuver and all kinds of things. Then there's a guy who's like a computer fucking whiz. Then there's a guy who's basically the Hulk. He's so strong. Then there's a guy who's ability to shoot is far beyond any capability of any clone trooper ever. Like, he's just a beautiful shot.
The
That's
low
a guy?
bar.
Huh?
That was a guy? Oh.
Yeah, they call him like
I thought
Dead Eye or
that was because it looked like that lady.
Oh no. That may have been a different character that's in the show. So
okay.
of the 5, I'm talking about the 5 that are in the Bad Batch.
I gotcha.
And then the 5th one is actually a character, I think it's Fives actually, who was in like the clone platoon that was followed throughout the Clone Wars, like the animated show.
Oh,
so
I see.
He was captured by the Empire, and then they did all these experiments on him, and they actually used his brain as like a database to predict clone battle tactics, and then like the clone troopers and like the clone army, or the Republic army I should say, was like failing in all these battles because they had taken Fives hostage, and so they were like using his brain to like predict all their movements and all their battle strategies, and they were winning. So then Fives gets rescued, and then obviously they're like, well, we can't fucking beat them now because we don't know what they're going to do. But,
so what side is the Bad Batch on?
So here's the thing. So in Season 7, which I don't want to give too much away for you, but in Season 7, there are defectors from the new Empire.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the Bad Batch defects because they don't answer to anyone. They are they're rogue squadron of the Empire, of the clones. Like they're literally like a mercenary group. They just get called. They're like, yeah, we need the Bad Batch on this one. Like, we can't fucking do this. And then the Bad Batch comes in and just fucks everybody up, and then they hightail their ass out of there. That's why they have like all their armor is different. It's like they like designed their own armor. They're like in red and like have all these cool. They're fucking sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
That's the one I'm second most excited for.
And like the shots that they used, it felt just like the Andor trailer. Because it's like, that's what made me so like, I was mixed feelings about it, because it's like, man, why, if you guys were going to go this way, at least do the animation different.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking. But if you're a Clone Wars fan, I'm sure it's fucking rad.
It's perfect, yeah. So this falls right in line with, to me, it's a non-opportunistic play, because this is one that, like, as soon as the Bad Batch came out, people were like, I want a Bad Batch show right now. And then they were like, hey, we got news for you. It's already happening. So, cool. So, like, people were excited about having a Bad Batch show before there was ever wind of a Bad Batch show actually being a thing.
Okay.
So this has been out for a while, not like but like people knew that there was one coming for a while. But I mean, the Bad Batch was immediately a crowd favorite. Like, they were like, holy shit, these guys are so badass. I would love to have a show about them.
Nice. What mic line am I in?
All right, next trailer.
Is there another Star Wars one?
There should be.
I only see 3.
Or if there isn't another Star Wars one, then I want to talk about 2 Star Wars things.
What was the other Star Wars?
Ahsoka, we already talked about that. But Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There's no trailer for either of those. Though.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. I don't know why I thought there was going to be another trailer. I thought maybe...
I searched because I thought that there would be.
So there are a couple other things that they have already talked about releasing, which I already mentioned. But like that Visions thing, and then Ahsoka obviously is going to be great. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be... I mean, he's the most beloved character in Star Wars history, I think. Yoda obviously is like one of the gets the most said about him.
Right.
Qui-Gon Jinn is like the people that people wish there was more Qui-Gon. You know, they were like, man, that would have been cool to get more. But Ewan McGregor is just so lovable as a human being.
Oh my god.
And like his portrayal of Obi-Wan is exactly what you would want it to be. Like, he's reserved, he's a little bit timid about certain things, but he's like an extremely formidable Jedi, and like is one of the most powerful Force wielding Jedi characters in all of Star Wars lore ever. Like, he just is. He was the first Jedi in 1,000 years to kill a Sith Lord, which people don't really think about. because he killed fucking Maul. You know, I mean, the fact that he killed Maul. Now, obviously, he didn't kill Maul, but then he did kill Maul, so that's like a whole down the line thing. But like, to have defeated Darth Maul is like says a lot about his abilities as a Force wielder, because Darth Maul had these speed capabilities that like Palpatine also had, where like he could, like, you can't show it on camera in a fucking live action movie, but like Darth Maul was inherently far faster than anybody else, and so the fact that Obi-Wan could defeat him. I mean, you can see him. He's in episode 1. He's like doing all those defensive strikes where like he's over his back, and that's because Maul was so fast.
I love the story of how that guy got that role, because he was training the actor to have these moves, and he was going to be like the stunt double, but the actor wasn't doing very well, and they were like, "Well, fuck it, man. He doesn't really
Just
say
be
much
Maul.
anyways.
Right.
Just be him."
Yeah.
It's all you, homie.
He's also Toad in the X-Men movie.
He is?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, what's his name? Ray Park.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Neither did I. That's fucking
really
wild.
Interesting.
Oh,
100% it is. So Maul is a very complicated character. And so I want to see a Maul thing.
He had said something about how he's going to show up again. So I'm curious as to...
He's going to show up in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He is.